Case study applying multiple criticism to a single text to demonstrate how different critical approaches generate distinctive insights from the same text. Let's examine Mary Shelley's Frankenstein through multiple critical lenses. This exercise illustrates that sophisticated interpretation involves not finding the single correct reading, but rather exploring how various frameworks eliminate different dimensions of a complex work. Frankenstein proves particularly rich for this demonstration because it encourages combining with biographical, historical, gender, and psychological concerns. Historical biographical criticism. Historical biographical reading suits Frankenstein within Mary Shelley's life and the Romantic era. Shelley's conceived the novel during the famously stormy summer of 1816 when she, Percy, Shelley, Lord Byron, and others challenged each other to write ghost stories. She was 18, recently married, and had already experienced the loss of her first child. Now let's go to the next slide. This context eliminates the novel's obsession with creation and loss. Victor's animation of the creature and subsequent horror mirrors anxieties about childbirth and maternal responsibility, especially poignant given Shelley's experiences of maternal loss and her own mother, Mary Wollstonecraft's death shortly after giving birth to her. The novel's romantic setting, Alps, thunderstorms, sublime natural landscape, reflects the era's aesthetic values. Victor's scientific ambitions relate to contemporary debates about galvanism and the boundaries of scientific inquiry. Feminist criticism. Feminist criticism reveals a Frankenstein engagement with gender, creation, and power. The novel's most striking absence is women's creative agency. Victor usurps the female role of giving birth through his scientific creation, producing life without women. This male birth proves mysterious, suggesting that creation discovered from female participation and nurturing produces monastericity. Absence of mothers. Nearly every female character dies. Victor, mother, Justin, Elizabeth, leaving a male dominant world lacking feminine uh, nurturing and moral guidance. Passive woman. Female characters are largely passive victims. Elizabeth waits patiently. Justin is wrongly executed while men pursue active if destructive ambitions. Denied female creature. Victor's destruction of the female creature has, or he was creating, denies both the monster and the female creature agency, reproduction, and companionship. A feminist reading suggests socially critics masculine overreach, the consequences of excluding women from creative and intellectual pursuits. The novel becomes a warning about what happens when masculine ambitions operates without feminine balance and ethical consideration. Psychoanalytical criticism interprets the creature as Victor's psychological double, representing repressed aspects of his cycle or his psyche. The creature embodies Victor's unconscious desires and fears, particularly anxieties about his own monstrous potential and the forbidden desires. When Victor flees from his creation, he is fleeing from from aspects of himself he cannot acknowledge. The creature's violence can be read as Victor's unconscious aggression toward the family and the social structures that constrain him. Each murder, William Clever, Elizabeth eliminates someone representing different aspects of Victor's social identity and obligations. The creature's desire for a mate mirrors Victor's own sexual anxieties, and his destruction of the female creature suggests fear of female sexuality and reproduction. The novel's frame narrative, Walton's letters containing Victory's story containing the creature's story creates nested layers suggesting psychological depth and the difficulty of accessing unconscious truth. Dreams and hallucination throughout the novel hint psychological disturbance beneath the surface narrative. Reader response criticism examines how different audiences have interpreted Frankenstein across time, reflecting a changing culture and anxieties. Early readers responded to Gothic horror elements and the moral warning about over reaching ambitions. Victorian readers saw warnings about industrial and scientific progress. 20th century readers living through unprecedented technological change focused on ethical implications of scientific achievements without moral guidance. Contemporary readers bring new concerns genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, environmental destruction caused by human herbs. Many now sympathize more with the creature than with Victor, viewing him as a victim of abandonment and prejudice rather than simply a monster. This shifted sympathy reflects contemporary concerns about social responsibility, marginalized, and the consequences of rejecting those who seem other. The creatures eloquent first person narrative particularly influences reader response. His philosophical sophistication and the emotional depth complicate simple monster human binaries, encouraging readers to question whose perspective to trust and what constitutes monstrosity. Questions that resonate with contemporary concerns about bias, empathy, and moral judgment. Integration of approaches, sophisticated interpretation often combines multiple approaches. You might offer a feminist um, psychoanalytic reading or historical biological reader response analysis. The key is making clear how you combine your combined approaches work together to eliminate the text. This case study demonstrates that different critical approaches aren't competing for the correct interpretation, but rather offer contemporary insights. Each lens reveals different facets of Shelley's um, complex novel, and together they provide richer understanding than any single approaches could achieve alone. As you develop critical sophistication, practice applying multiple approaches to text, discovering how different frameworks complement and complicate each other. Common challenges in literary criticism. Even experienced critics encounter challenges when analyzing literature. Recognizing these common difficulties helps you anticipate and address them proactively, strengthen your critical practice rather than viewing their challenges as obstacles to avoid. Treat them to as opportunities to deepen your skills and refine your approach. Understanding what makes literary criticism difficult is the first step toward mastering it. Avoiding unsupported opinions. Perhaps, I said perhaps the most common pitfall is stating opinions without textual evidence. A claim like this poem is beautiful, or the character is annoying, represents personal response, not literary criticism. The solution is always grounding interpretations in specific textual details. Instead of the poem is beautiful, try the poem's beauty emerged through the intricate sound patterns as in the line's alliteration and essence. Every interpretive claim requires textual evidence showing how the text supports your reading, challenges yourself for every assertion. Can you point to specific words, passages, or techniques that demonstrate it? Balancing response and evidence, finding the sweet spot between personal response and textual evidence challenges many students. Pure subjectively or pure subjectivity. I liked it because it reminded me of my grandmother lack analytical razor, but ignoring personal response makes interpretations bloodless and disengaged. The solution is translating personal response into analytical questions. If a passage moves you emotionally, ask what techniques create that effect. If character irritates you, investigate how the text constructs that characterization. Your response are valuable starting points, but criticism requires explaining how textual elements generate those responses. Navigating complex theoretical jargon. Literary theory often employs specialized terminology that can seem deliberately obscure. Term like heteroglossia, aporia, or subaltern initially intimidated the students. The solution is patience and the systematic vocabulary building. Create a personal glossary of theoretical terms with clear definitions and examples. Do not use jargon you do not understand. Nothing determines nothing undermines its liberty faster than use the terminology when reading theory. Look up unfamiliar terms immediately. Remember that jargon exists not to exclude but to provide precise vocabulary for complex concepts. Once mastered, these terms enable nuanced discussion impossible with everyday language alone. Then let's go to integration, multiple critical perspectives. Combining multiple critical approaches in a single essay challenges even advanced students. The risk is producing disjointed essay that jumps between approaches without integration. The solution is finding a unifying interpretive question or theme that multiple approaches address differently. For example, examining how both feminist and post-colonial criticism eliminate power dynamics and never creates coherence. Another strategy is using one approach as primary framework while selectively incorporating insights from others. Make transitions explicit, while feminist criticism reveals gender dynamics. Marxist analysis shows how these intersect with classic or with class. A clear meta critical contemporary explaining what you're doing and why helps readers follow your interpretive moves. Overreading and reading, finding the right interpretive depth requires judgment. Over reading assigns its significance to every detail, finding symbols and meaning. The text doesn't support under reading misses important patterns and implications. Staying at surface level, develop this balance by testing interpretations against text. Does the whole work support your reading or only isolated details? Does your interpretation account for major textual elements or ignore inconvenient passages? Embrace complexity. Remember that literature's best quality is often its ambiguity and complexity. Resist the urge to resolve all tensions into neat interpretations. Sometimes acknowledging unresolved questions demonstrates a more sophisticated understanding than forcing per mature closure. These challenges are normal parts of the developing critical sophistication. Do not be discouraged when you encounter them. Even professional critics struggle with these issues. The key is maintaining awareness of potential pitfalls while continuing to practice. Seek feedback from instructors and peers, revise thoughtfully, and gradually your critical judgment will strengthen. Remember that literary criticism is a skill requiring sustained practice, not an innate talent some possesses and others lack. Tools and resources for literary criticism. Developing skills in literary criticism requires not just intellectual efforts but also um, familiarity with the tools and resources that support scholarly research and writing. Today's critics have unprecedented access to academic databases, digital archives, writing support services, and online learning platforms. Knowing what resources exist and how to use them effectively significantly enhances your ability to conduct the research, craft arguments, and polish your writing to professional standards. Academic databases and journals. Academic databases provide access to peer-reviewed scholarly articles, critical essays, and book reviews essential for researching literary topics rather than relying on general web searches, while or which yield unreliable results. Use these specialized resources designed for academic research. Now let's move to GSTOR, comprehensive achieve or archive of scholarly journals across disciplines, particularly strong in humanities, search by author, title, keyword, or publication to find articles on virtually any literary topic or or text. Project Muse, reading database for humanities and the school and the social science journals, providing full text as access to current scholarship and back issues from participating publishers and scholarly societies. MLA International Biography, um the definitive biography for literary studies, indexing articles, books, and dissertations. Essential starting point for any literary research project with sophisticated research and search features and subject indexing. Google Scholar, free search engine for scholarly literature across disciplines, useful for finding articles and seeing citation count. Though not all results are full text, check whether your institution provides access to pay wallet articles. Bibliographic management software. Managing sources becomes unwieldy for longer projects without organizational tools. Bibliographic management software helps you collect, organize, and cite sources efficiently. Zotero free open source integrates with your browser to save citation with click and generates bibliographies in any citation style. In Delhi, free combines reference management with PDF annotation and social network features. EndNote, paid, often provided by institutions, offers repost features for large research projects. Choose one early in your academic career and use it consistently. You will thank yourself when writing papers with extensive bibliographies. Writing centers and peer review. Most colleges and universities offer writing centers providing free tutoring and support. Writing center tutors help you at any stage from brainstorming to revision, offering feedback on organization, argumentation, clarity, and style. Do not wait until you are struggling. Successful students use writing centers to actively peer review, whether formal in-class workshop or informal study groups, provide valuable reader responses explaining your ideas to peers, clarify thinking, and their questions reveal gaps in your argument or areas needing development. Now let's move to university libraries. Librarians are experts in research strategies, schedule consultations for help developing search strategies, finding specialized databases, or locating different sources. Most libraries also offer workshop on search skills, online writing labs. The Bordeaux OWL provides comprehensive guides to citation style, MLA, ABA, Chicago, grammar and mechanics and writing process. Other universities also maintain excellent OWL or OWLs, comparing specific aspects of academic writing. online tutorials and MOOCs or MOOCs, MOOCs. Platforms like Coursera, EDX, and YouTube offer courses and tutorials on literary analysis, critical theory, and academic writing. These supplement classroom learning and let you explore topics at your own pace. Style guides and handbooks. Invest in your current editions of style guides for your discipline. The MLA Handbook 8th or 9th edition is a standard for literature papers, providing citation formats and writing conventions. The elements of style by Strunk and why it offers timeless guidance on clear, effective prose. They say, I say by Graph, and Birkenstein teaches academic arguments, rhetorical moves. Digital literacy matters, development and proficiency with academic databases, citation tools, and digital libraries is as important as traditional research skills. Invest time learning these tools early. They will serve you throughout your academic career and beyond. These tools and resources exist to support your intellectual work, making research more efficient and writing more polished. Do not hesitate to use them. Scholars at all levels rely on intellectual support, technological tools, and collaborative feedback. Success in literary criticism isn't about working in isolation, but rather skillfully. Leveraging available resources to produce your best work, familiarize yourself with what your institution offers, and make these resources um, regular parts of your academic practice. Summary and key takeaways. As we conclude this comprehensive exploration of literary criticism, let's synthesize the essential concepts and skills you've encountered. Literary criticism represents far more than an academic requirement. It's a transformative set of practices that enriches your relationship with literature and develops intellectual capacity serving you throughout life. The journey from beginning student to confident critic involves mastering various approaches, practicing analytical techniques, and cultivating habits of mind that characterize thoughtful, engaged reading. Now let's go to critical approaches. You've learned multiple frameworks for interpretation from historical, biographical, to feminist, Marxist, post-colonial, and psychoanalytical criticism. Analysis steps, a systematic five-step process guides you from initial reading through final evaluation and interpretation. Interpretive possibilities. Each text supports multiple valid interpretations, enriching literary study through diverse perspectives and ongoing dialogue. Core principles revisited. Literary criticism enriches understanding beyond surface enjoyment. Criticism deepens appreciation of literature's artistry, complexity, and the cultural significance. It transforms passive reading into active engagement, revealing layers of meaning and sophisticated techniques that might otherwise go unnoticed. Multiple approaches offer diverse insights, different critical lens, illuminate different textual dimensions, historical, biographical criticism reveals contextual influences, while new criticism focuses on formal elements. Feminist and Marxist approaches exposes power dynamics, while readers' response criticism acknowledges interpretations, subjective dimensions. No single approach exhausts exhausts text's possibilities. Critical literacy empowers readers and writers. The skills you've developed: close reading, evidence-based argumentation, awareness of text, theoretical sophistication, transfer far beyond the literature courses. They enhance your capacity for critical thinking across disciplines and the professional contexts, making you a more discerning consumer and creator of ideas. Practice and engagement are essential. Like any complex skill, literary criticism improves through consistent practice. Each essay you write, discussion you join, and text you analyze strengthen your critical muscles. Do not be discouraged by early struggle. Sophistication develops gradually through sustained engagement and thoughtful revision. Essential skills mastered: close reading, analyzing texts carefully, attending to language, structural literary devices, and patterns that create meaning. Contextual awareness, understanding how historical, cultural, biographical, and theoretical contexts inform interpretation. Critical application, employing various critical frameworks to generate insights and eliminate different textual dimensions. Evidence-based argumentation, construction or constructing claims supported by textual evidence and logic reasoning following academic conventions. Scholarly communication, writing clearly and persuasively, engaging with secondary sources, and participating in critical conventions. Looking forward, the knowledge and the skills you've gained here represent a foundation, not a ceiling. Literary criticism is a field of ongoing discovery with new theoretical approaches emerging and established ones evolving. Continue exploring, read widely across genres and periods, experiment with different critical approaches, engage with contemporary scholarship, and remain curious about how literary reflects and shapes human experience. Your critical journey continues. This presentation provides essential tools and frameworks for developing critical sophistication is a lifelong process. Each text you encounter offers new opportunities to refine your skills and deepen your understanding. Remember that becoming a skilled literary critic doesn't mean abandoning the pleasure of reading. Rather, critical awareness enhances enjoyment, allowing you to appreciate both what texts say and how they see it. The goal isn't to drain literature or its magic, but to understand how that magic works, and in understanding to experience it more fully. Carry these skills forward with confidence, knowing that you possess powerful tools for engaging thoughtfully with literature and the world it illuminates. Thank you for your attention and commitment throughout this comprehensive exploration of literary criticism. I hope you've gained not just analytical skills, but genuine appreciation for criticism power to deepen understanding and enrich your relationship with literature. The journey through literary criticism is ongoing. Each text offers new challenges, each approach reveals new dimensions, each interpretation adds to the ongoing conversation. Continue reading, continue analyzing, continue writing, continue questioning, maintain intellectual curiosity and openness to new perspectives. Let literature continue teaching you about human experience in all its complexity. May your critical practice be both intellectually rigorous and personally rewarding. May you find in literary criticism not just academic requirement but lifelong intellectual engagement. Best wishes for your continued development as a thoughtful, sophisticated literary critic. The conversation continues, and how you are fully equipped to contribute meaningfully to it. Thank you once again. Until next time, tata for now.